Welcome to our training Submit a Reconciliation Request for an FBA Shipment. Before a customer can buy an item in your FBA inventory, it needs to be received at an Amazon fulfillment center. Most items are received by Amazon successfully. But if there's ever a difference between the number of units you report sending and the number of units we report as received after we've closed your shipment, you can use the shipment summary in Seller Central to learn more about the discrepancy. In some cases, you'll also be able to submit a reconciliation request, which you can use to confirm that you sent a different number of units than were entered during shipment creation, or to request that we research the difference. Let's review how to identify a discrepancy and submit a reconciliation request. But first, let's start with a few tips that can help you avoid discrepancies and ensure your shipments are eligible for reconciliation. Always make sure you enter accurate information each time you create an FBA shipment. Be careful when entering the number of units per box, box dimensions and weight, and the number of boxes in your shipment, as any errors can create discrepancies and delay receiving at the fulfillment center. You should also always ensure that your shipment is packaged and prepped correctly. Mispackaged units are more likely to encounter delays and create discrepancies. If you're not yet familiar with Amazon's packaging and prep requirements, search Seller Central for detailed instructions. It's also important to keep documents that can verify your ownership of the units you send to Amazon. To submit a reconciliation request that asks us to research a discrepancy, you'll need a supplier invoice, a receipt from another seller, a signed packing slip, or a similar document. For LTL or FTL shipments, you should also keep a bill of lading that lists the number of boxes and total shipment weight. The bill of lading must be stamped by Amazon to verify proof of delivery and should be available through your carrier. For small parcel shipments or SPDs, be sure to keep receipts from your carrier that show the weight of each box they received. Finally, before you book transportation for your FBA shipment, keep in mind that reconciliation requests that ask Amazon to research a discrepancy can only be submitted by a seller when their carrier provides in-transit tracking information. Without that information, we can't confirm when and how a discrepancy arose. Both Amazon partnered and Amazon integrated carriers offer shipment tracking. Now let's review how to submit a reconciliation request. Start by clicking Inventory and then Manage FBA Shipments in the Seller Central main menu. Locate the shipment you want to review in your shipping queue and make sure its status is closed, because sellers can only submit reconciliation requests for FBA shipments when they're closed. All other statuses mean that your shipment is still in progress. Closed, however, means that we've confirmed all units received in your shipment against the quantities you entered during shipment creation. That's when we're able to confirm if a discrepancy has arisen, share information about any action we've already taken, and in some cases, provide an opportunity for a seller to submit a reconciliation request. Our goal is always to move shipments into our fulfillment network as quickly as possible. Extended timelines are an indication that we're moving more FBA inventory into our network than usual. They won't affect any eligibility you might have to submit a reconciliation request when your shipment is closed. After you've confirmed that your FBA shipment is closed, you can check the column to the left to see if there's a discrepancy. If the units expected and units received don't match, click the Track Shipment button to go to your shipment summary. On the first tab, Shipment Events, you can confirm the full shipping path. You can also get detailed carrier tracking information on the Track Shipment tab. But you'll click the Contents tab to learn more about the discrepancy. You'll see a row for each item in the shipment. Items that were received in the expected quantity will have a 0 in the discrepancy column. Items that were received in an amount different from the one entered during shipment creation will have a number other than 0 in the discrepancy column. First, hover over the units located number in the same row as each discrepancy to get more information about the units we've already accounted for. A quantity listed as received is the number of units accounted for through our standard receiving process. A quantity listed as reconciled is the number of units we've already researched and reconciled on your behalf. You might see a reconciled quantity if, for example, extra units in one of your FBA shipments were used to account for missing units in another. These aren't counted toward a discrepancy because they've been reconciled across shipments or have been otherwise accounted for. A quantity listed as reimbursed is the number of units Amazon has accepted responsibility for because of loss or damage. These units aren't counted toward a discrepancy because they are proactively reimbursed by Amazon. You can check for reimbursements anytime by clicking Reports, then Fulfillment in the main menu in Seller Central. On the Amazon Fulfillment Reports page, look for reimbursements in the list of reports. After reviewing the units we've already located and accounted for, check the status column for your shipment. Any discrepancy you can submit a reconciliation request for will have a drop-down menu next to it that reads Action Required. All other discrepancies, as well as items in your shipment with no discrepancy, will instead have a static status listed to indicate that no action is required. You may not be able to submit a reconciliation request for a discrepancy for several reasons. Often, it's because we've already researched and reconciled units automatically. If you believe a discrepancy is mistakenly ineligible for reconciliation, contact seller support. For each discrepancy that's eligible for reconciliation, make the appropriate selection in the drop-down menu. Select Units Not Shipped to confirm that you or your supplier didn't ship the number of units indicated by a negative discrepancy. This will reconcile the discrepancy automatically once you submit your reconciliation request. Select Extra Units Shipped to confirm that you or your supplier shipped the number of additional units indicated by a positive discrepancy. This will also reconcile the discrepancy automatically once you submit your reconciliation request. You can use the drop-down menu to request that Amazon further research a discrepancy. Select Research Missing Units if you've confirmed that the number of units indicated by a negative discrepancy were included in your shipment and you want them investigated. Select Research Extra Units if you've confirmed that the number of units indicated by a positive discrepancy were not included in your shipment and you want them investigated. After selecting an option for each eligible discrepancy, upload a document that verifies you own the inventory associated with each discrepancy you're requesting be researched. As a reminder, this should be a supplier invoice, a receipt from another seller, a signed packing slip, or a similar document. Your ownership document must include a date of purchase, product names for any missing units, and quantity information. If your shipment was LTL or FTL, your upload should also include a stamped bill of lading to provide proof of delivery. And if your shipment was SPD, your upload should include receipts for each package. You should combine documents into a single, high-resolution file if you need to submit more than one. If you aren't requesting research but are simply confirming that you didn't ship missing units or shipped extra units, you can skip uploading a document. Finally, if you're requesting research, provide any additional information that might help locate or account for missing or extra units. Product IDs or GTINs, a description of shipping boxes, and missing prep or packing information can assist the reconciliation process. Were the wrong products shipped? Did your shipment have distinctive marks? Let us know so that our Fulfillment Center team has as much information as possible when trying to locate your items. When your reconciliation information is complete, click the Preview Your Request button, then the Submit button in the pop-up. After you submit a reconciliation request, the status column next to an eligible discrepancy will say Case Submitted. You can review the discrepancy column anytime to check if we've been able to locate missing units or account for extra ones. The discrepancy listed will adjust accordingly, as will the status of units in the Located Units pop-up. You can also click Case Submitted to get more information about the case created for your reconciliation request. Make sure you respond to any requests related to your case within 5 business days. This concludes our training on FBA shipment reconciliation. Thank you and happy selling in the Amazon store.